So, since I've got so many of you, I'm going to talk to you about my favourite subject. It's me, okay? So, really what you see is what you get, okay? I'm white, I'm a woman, I'm local, in case you couldn't tell. I pass for straight, I pass for non-disabled, I pass for neurotypical. I'm educated, I've got secure immigration status, and I'm employed. And actually, what I want to talk to you about is my job. Because, you know, I am really passionate about my job. I teach sex education, sex and relationships education for people with a wide range of disabilities. Teaching sex education is not like teaching maths, okay? Although there's a time and a place for that too. It gives me a chance to engage with some really big stuff. The stuff that, it's about who we are. It's right at the core of who we are as people. I heard a great term for it recently, and it's the idea of being a sexual citizen, being visible, right? So what that means as a sexual citizen is that I know my sexual health rights and responsibilities. Do you know yours? Let me tell you about them. They're the things that you probably don't even think about because they're so close to who we are as people that we don't really tend to articulate them, okay? So, let's see. Am I allowed to have sex? Yeah, good job. Am I allowed to have a relationship? Yes, I am. Am I allowed to say yes? Yes, I am. Am I allowed to say no? Well, yeah. I'm allowed to say no too. I'm allowed to talk about my sexual wants and my desires and my orientation and my gender. I'm allowed to talk about all those things. I'm allowed to inhabit a space and be visible within it. And you know, I'm allowed, actually, to expect to be supported in all of those things. I'm visible, I'm here, I'm a sexual citizen. That also means that I've got responsibilities. So what are my sexual health responsibilities? Well, they are to do no harm, okay? To respect my partner, to abide by the law. Pretty straightforward, yeah? Okay. So all these things are the things that I hold dear to my heart. They're the things that I would go down fighting for. And I teach about them specifically with people who have disabilities these days. And the reason for that is that a few years ago, I was out doing what they call a drop-down day at school. I don't know if you're local, if you've got kids who are at local schools, but you know when they take them all off the timetable, and then they have the external person come in to talk about, you know, all sorts of things all day. That's me. Right, well, it used to be me anyway. These days, I'm based at Queen Alexandra College in Birmingham, which is a specialist college for young people with complex needs. But then, I was going out being the sex lady. So I'd just done 6 identical talks about how not to get pregnant when you leave. It was for year 11, okay? And they were very focused on this, don't get pregnant. So I went out with my clinic in a box, and I did the talk, I did the talk, I did the talk, I did the talk, I did the talk. I did the talk one more time. And then, at the end of the day, I'm packing everything up, and there's a knock on the door. And I thought it was the staff coming to shoo me out, you know, like they do. And it wasn't, it was a girl in a wheelchair. And she goes, oh, can I come in? I want to ask some questions. I'm like, yeah, come in. And what year are you in? And she goes, oh, year 11. So why weren't you in any of the classes? I asked her, and she said, because they said I didn't need to come in. Okay. Park that one. Fast forward to September 2017, and I'm in Ireland. I'm at a conference about sexual consent and learning disabilities, which is incidentally where I heard the most extraordinary talk about sexual citizenship. But we'll come back to that in a minute. The first talk of the day was by a woman called Maria. Now, Maria is extraordinary. She's 47. She has Down syndrome. She's been with her boyfriend longer than I've been with mine. And she stands up and she gives this talk, and the talk is called, My Sister Can Get Married. Why can't I get married? I'll tell you why she can't get married. She can't get married because she has to prove that she can consent. Okay? Now, how do you consent if you have not been given the information to be able to make that decision? Think about it. How do you consent if you've not been given the information to make those choices for yourselves? Let's rewind to being wheeled out of the room, shall we? Like my student at that not-to-be-named school. We've got a problem. We've got a serious problem. Now, one of the things that I often say about my job is that what I do is I'm giving people, it sounds marvellous, I'm giving them the words to express their experiences, to talk about, where they are, to make them visible. And, that sounds pretty good, except if we just rewind to the start, if you wanted to put a poster for non-diversity up, I'd be on it. Look at me standing here, white, straight, non-disabled apparently, no problems with engaging with any of you. So, although I'm a safe pair of hands because I really care about it, actually, should I be the only person doing this? How much responsibility is that? What if I was not as careful about it as I actually am? It's a problem. So in order to curb that problem, I was out recently training some staff at a specialist school in Birmingham, and we were talking about putting a sex and relationships curriculum in, and we'd gone through how it's so important. Everybody's right on board. They really want to do this. And then one teaching assistant, young lady, puts her hand up and she says, Jill, I completely agree with what you're saying, but I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can say the words. I don't think I can make this work. I'm going to get it wrong. I don't think I'm the right person to do this. And you know what? Maybe she's not. Maybe she's not the right person to do it, but this is where everything kind of comes back to everybody, really. You don't have to do the work, but you are responsible for making a culture where that work can take place. My sexual health rights and responsibilities are your sexual health rights and responsibilities. We all have exactly the same, all of us, right? It doesn't matter what your ability is, what your background is. We all have exactly the same sexual health rights and responsibilities to be valid, to be part of the sexual citizenship, to be part of the collective, to engage in a consent-focused society. So, what I need people to do is to take that away and think about it. When we think about Maria, why is it that she has to prove herself before she can get married? Why should she have to? And how is she supposed to if those conversations aren't taking place? If we're not all engaging them together? If we're not all taking part and taking responsibility for this thing that we hold so dear to ourselves, this consent-based culture where we are all equal? I have something to say that I just want to leave with you. The problem that we've had before, here's what we've done. We've left disabled people outside the room. We've left them outside the room. Solved the problem. Solved the problem of that school. But I have to tell you, I'm looking at all these people. There's a lot of you. I refuse to believe that there are no disabled people in here. I refuse. I refuse to believe that there are no neurodiverse people in here. I refuse. What you must understand is there is nobody outside the room. We are in the room. We are all in the room together. So, we need to be taking responsibility as a collective, because if we don't, at the very best, we leave people out. Do you want to be part of that? I don't. But at the very worst, we fail everybody in the room, including ourselves. Thank you.